Welcome to the Waiting Warriors podcast. As loved ones of first responders and military personnel, we often face life situations and challenges that many others don't experience. And while each of us and our experiences are unique, together we can learn from one another and become stronger in this journey of life. Now let's step out of mediocrity. It's time to thrive. Hi, Waiting Warriors. Welcome to the first episode in 2019. I wanted to do an episode today to let you guys in on a few things I have brewing and starting, and then give some quick little advice that I think will help you all, no matter the career your spouse is in, no matter where you are in life. This is a simple, but it's a good one. So, most importantly, if you are new around here, welcome to the Waiting Warrior podcast. I am Michelle Bowler. I am an Army wife of 6.5 years and a mother of 3.5. I've got 3.5 girls. One's brewing. She's coming in April of 2019, and we're very excited to have her. So most of the time of those 6.5 years, though, my husband was in the reserves doing school and was a chaplain at a hospital. And it was during that residency at the hospital that I really saw how similar the first responder life was to military life. There's differences for sure, but we have a lot more in common than we have differences. And that's why I wanted this podcast to include everyone, because the key thing we all experience is that our loved one has a very difficult job that not only takes them away from us and the family, and there's a sacrifice there that most civilians don't understand, but our loved ones see a ton more drama than the average person is exposed to. And that changes the experiences and the difficulties we face as families, down to pretty much everything that's incorporated in our lives. Most people don't see it, but it's really there. So, welcome. I hope you can feel and see that this podcast and business is so close to my heart. And I really want this to be a good resource for all of us. So, I love what I do, and I don't take anything here lightly, unless we kind of need some lightheartedness and some laughs, because, hey, our life is very heavy, and sometimes we need to just dance around and be silly. But, down to business. I started this podcast last May 2018, and we have had a lot of awesome things going on. But I would really love for this to be a resource that's even better for you guys. So I'm adding a few things that I wanted to let you guys know about. First is, if you don't already know, I am on Instagram and Facebook and would love to connect with you guys there. I always post about the episodes when they're released. There's it'll be a picture of the person who the interview is about, and then a little icon, the Waiting Warrior icon that you see with the podcast, and it'll say the Waiting Warriors on it. So it's very clear this is for the podcast. So if you want that kind of notification, you can see it there. If you also want updates with the podcast, make sure you subscribe, so then it will automatically upload, and you can even set notifications to let you know that there's a new episode. But I'm also working really hard on creating content for you guys on Instagram and Facebook that will make your lives easier. So it won't be guides on how to navigate TRICARE or how to, printables for making less chaos in your life, which there have been people on this podcast who have those kind of resources. And I know people who have those type of accounts. So if you want to know about those, I can totally help you get there. But what it will be is companies and products that solve problems that we have in our lives. There are some very, very Waiting Warrior specific things that I have in store to share with you guys that I'm very excited with. There are some just that I'll be sharing because we are all humans who have to eat, and they're kitchen tricks or meal planning tricks. I have the best app. For those of you who have Apple, reach out to me and I will tell you this best amazing app. And some are just mom helps, and some are just about better ways to take care of you. I have been reaching out to a ton of people and companies, and I'm going to start doing some great giveaways. We've got some codes so you guys can be saving some money. And the giveaways are going to be particularly on Instagram. It's just a little bit easier to run them on there. And with other people, they like to work on Instagram too. So if you like free stuff and are interested in all that, I am, the little @ The Waiting Warrior, no underscores or anything, just The Waiting Warrior on Instagram and Facebook, and come join the party and let me know if you're from the podcast, and let's just thrive during this crazy life together. Second thing coming along is a blog website thingy. I don't know, everybody talks about a website and a blog, but to me they're kind of all the same because you go into the fancy internet bar and you type something and it takes you to it, right? But if you go to that fancy internet bar and type in thewaitingwarriors.com, you are going to start finding some good stuff. I have actually had it up and running for almost a year now, but I never really shared about it because I didn't quite know what I was going to do with it and was still figuring out what I wanted to post about. But from now on, there will be a monthly post on there with summaries of the podcast episodes, links to get to those episodes, and favorite products, tips, and helps that we have shared about each month. Every now and then, there will be some other good posts, especially on Instagram and Facebook, where we will be talking about some things that need more explanation. Then you can kind of write in an Instagram or Facebook post. Or if you guys are asking questions that need some more solid answers, we'll be doing that there. So blog, website thingy is numero dos. The third thing is that on the podcast, the blog, and social media, kind of working all together, I'm going to test out having themes for each month for the year of 2019. It won't be what all the podcast guests will be talking about, but I'm going to start hopping on here and being the first episode each month to talk about the theme. And then we will have giveaways and tips, all those kind of things, product recommendations over on social media throughout the month. Does that make sense? We're going to be kind of working it all together. Sometimes guests will talk about similar things. Sometimes they won't because everybody's story is different. And I just still want to be providing you guys those awesome stories and to hear from other people. But without further ado, the theme for January is... Sorry guys, my word for the year, my personal word for the year, I did it last year and I'm going to try it again this year, but my word for the year is to laugh more. I want to bring more fun back in my life. It's gotten a little bogged down, but we're going to laugh more, and hopefully you guys will be able to see and feel that on the podcast and on social media. But anyways, the theme for January is getting started on the right track with your goals, and helping you to do that is getting ready every day. So who here has had their loved one gone for an extended period of time, be it their shift makes their schedule opposite of yours in the family, or it's a deployment, or they're gone for a course, or they are out fighting a fire for the whole darn season? My hat's off. I know there are so many friends from my home state of California that they basically had to say sayonara to their loved one for 4+ months of the fire season because there were so many bad fires in California, all over the country. But no matter what the reason is, who's been there? I literally just raised my hand for some reason. Not that you guys can see it, but it's like raise of hands who's done that. Most, if not all of us, experience that regularly, right? I have a hard time with funky words, but now maybe you guys are way better than me, but in the 6+ years as a military spouse with 2 to 3 years, I think, total time that he has not been home. And the rest of the time he has been home, he's been gone a lot of those days from early morning till late at night. Like that has been the bulk of our marriage. Just he has been gone a lot. plus I was having a lot of babies, I very, very quickly got sucked into the mentality that there was no point in getting ready today. Why get ready when I'm not leaving the house? Why get ready when no one else's opinion matters? Like, why look good for anybody else but my husband? There's no one to look good for. It's not worth the effort. Why put on real pants if the baby's just going to spit on them? Anybody else? Now, I'm not saying that sweats and oversized t-shirts don't have a place in life. They do. I am pregnant. They have a place in my life. They are important. But it's a slippery slope when you let yourself constantly be in quote unquote comfy clothes, not to be confused with comfortable clothes. You can have real clothes that are comfortable, but if you're comfy clothes, the sweats, the leggings, an old sweater, the top band, no shower for a few days, you guys know what I'm talking about. At least what happened to me is this. And I'm only sharing this to help the people who are in similar situations as me. I'm not judging or anything. Because guys, I was there and I was there for a long time. But over time, you stop valuing what you think about yourself. You stop realizing that you are worth the 10 to 15 minutes it takes to rinse off in the shower, to put some clean clothes on, to brush your hair, and maybe even put mascara on. No, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks about how you look. You don't have to have a full face of makeup. You don't have to do your makeup a certain way or your hair a certain way so you look like anybody else. You are you and you are beautiful. You don't always have to fully curl your hair. You don't have to have the newest outfit from Nordstrom's. It does entirely matter, though, that you, one, feel like you are worth the effort, and two, do something to help yourself, because you are the reason you do those things. Because if you are just quote unquote comfy, you will act comfy. It's science and has been tested by hundreds of thousands of people all around the world on a daily basis. When you get dressed and ready for the day, you are more productive with your time and feel better about how the day went. Now, for a lot of the waiting warriors, we are moms. Lots of us moms to littles who are still at home. So the word productive, I know to me, can kind of be a funny word compared to what I thought the word was from 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago, before I became a mom. It is hard to have littles, and you know there are some things that you can't do that you can in other phases of life. But I think we often limit ourselves more than we actually need to be. And getting ready every day doesn't completely, but it severely helps to reduce and take away those limitations on what you can or what you think you can do. I'm not going to tell you what you should do or should not be doing with your time and your day. Everybody is called here on this world to do something different. But I will tell you that life can be so much more than what most of us, particularly in the first responder and military loved one community, think it can be. I see it all the time. We don't have to be stuck, though. We don't have to be limited. And for me, as simple as it may seem, a huge help to me mentally to get out of that was to simply start getting ready every day. You start to feel better about yourself and your world opens up. I know it sounds like a little mushy or just foo-foo-y or whatever word, but you have to at least try it, okay? Give it 2 weeks and I guarantee that you will start to see improvements in how you feel about yourself and your life. Well, that was a quick tip. Sometimes they'll be longer, sometimes they'll be shorter. This episode will be shorter than most. But again, if you want some tips on how to make getting ready easier, you want to hear some awesome products and companies that I've discovered with all, including some really cute companies that have some t-shirts and hats that are very Waiting Warrior specific. I found some really cute ones, guys. Come check out my Instagram. There should be a little bubble for January You know what, bubble? The highlight. That's what I'm talking about, bubble. A little bit of it will be on Facebook. There just aren't the same ways of sharing and saving information like that on Facebook. So I do favor Instagram a little bit. But either way, head over there. I am the Waiting Warrior on both. But happy 2019, guys. Happy January. I love January. It's my birthday month, so it's a good month. I'm super grateful for all of you who are here, and I'll see you next week with another great interview for you all. Bye, guys. Hi guys, I hope you're enjoying this podcast. I know I've been learning so much, so please share with any friends and family you know. Whether you know someone who is a waiting warrior, or if you just think one episode can shed some light to friends and family about what you're going through. Share. And always remember, we're stronger together, and here we can thrive. Until next time, have an awesome day.